The movie begins in 1899, with Europe on the verge of war as new weapons are being developed. In London, a group of police officers is shocked when a tank crashes into the Bank of England, destroying everything in its path and shrugging off bullets. The tank blasts open the vault door, and terrorists led by the Phantom emerge. Inside the vault, they find treasures, but the Phantom is after the blueprints of Venice's foundation. Britain blames Germany for the robbery, but soon the Phantom and his men appear in Berlin, kidnapping scientists and destroying Zeppelins. This sparks accusations between countries, pushing them closer to war. Later in Kenya, Reed searches for Allan, the hero from King Solomon's Mines. An old man claiming to be Allan tells adventure stories, but the real Allan reveals himself when Reed mentions he works for the British government and needs help. Allan initially refuses, as he no longer fights after losing his family. A group of strange men enter and ask for Allan, mistakenly shooting the old man. Allan immediately fires back, and a gunfight breaks out. The men are hard to kill because they're wearing armor and using automatic guns. After a few precise shots, Allan takes them on hand-to-hand, using furniture and a wall horn to defeat them. One henchman escapes, and Allan chases him, unaware of the suitcase left behind. Allan, an expert sharpshooter, stops the henchman from afar, but the man poisons himself before Allan can interrogate him. The tavern suddenly explodes, and with war threatening his peace in Africa, Allan agrees to help Reed. In England, Reed introduces Allan to his boss, M, who explains he's forming a team called the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen to stop the Phantom. Allan meets Captain Nemo from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, whose ship will take them to Venice in 4 days to stop the Phantom's next attack. Suddenly, a voice from an empty chair reveals another team member, Skinner, a thief who became invisible with a serum but hasn't found a cure. To be seen, Skinner wears a jacket and face paint. Another member, Mina, an expert chemist, arrives, but Allan isn't happy about having a woman on the team. They set off, with Nemo showcasing his advanced automobile, driven by his first mate Ishmael from Moby Dick. Unnoticed, they are being followed. They reach the docks to recruit Dorian Gray, who lets them in because Mina is his ex. Allan notes Dorian hasn't aged, recalling he was blessed by a witch doctor, ensuring he won't die in Africa. Dorian isn't interested in joining the team, but the conversation is cut short when armed men, led by the Phantom, emerge from the shadows. The Phantom asks the League to join him, but Allan recognizes one henchman as the earlier stalker, who then opens fire. Chaos erupts, revealing everyone's skills. Dorian, immortal, walks into bullets to kill men with his sword and heals himself. Nemo uses a sword and martial arts, while Allan and the stalker, revealed as American agent Tom Sawyer, use firearms. Skinner removes his jacket and paint to attack with books. The Phantom escapes through a window into the river, and as the team thinks the fight is over, a hidden man takes Mina hostage. Mina's eyes turn red, and she kills him by drinking his blood, revealing she's the widow of Jonathan Harker from the Dracula team. Dorian, taking the attack personally, agrees to join, and Allan lets Tom join too. Tom was sent by the American government because they fear the war might reach the Americas. The team heads to Paris, where Nemo introduces them to his ship, the Nautilus, which can also function as a submarine. In Paris, Allan and Tom chase a monstrous Mr. Hyde, who has been terrorizing the city. Allan, teaching Tom to shoot more efficiently, lures Hyde to a specific spot. Hyde ends up on a rooftop, where Allan shoots him into a prepared net. Back on the Nautilus, it takes many crew members to chain Hyde, who still manages to push some away. Allan offers Hyde a deal, help them and receive a pardon from the Queen. Hyde accepts and painfully transforms back into the shy Dr. Jekyll. With the team complete, the ship enters submarine mode, heading to Venice using a copy of the blueprints the Phantom stole. The team must now learn to live together. Allan is annoyed by Skinner's invisibility, and Mina is disturbed by Nemo's worship of the goddess of death. However, Allan is more afraid of Mina than any religious statue. One afternoon, after the Nautilus enters ship mode again, Allan tries to teach Tom how to shoot more accurately and waste fewer bullets, but leaves when Tom asks about his dead son. Meanwhile, Nemo and Ishmael find powder in the control room just before a book mysteriously closes. They give the powder to Mina, who identifies it as the flash powder used by photographers. Dorian visits Mina and reveals his secret. His missing portrait ages instead of him, and he can't look at it or he'll lose his powers. Dorian flirts with Mina, and they share a drink, but when the glass breaks and cuts her finger, the smell of blood excites Mina, and they kiss, making Jekyll jealous. His inner hide tempts him to drink the elixir again to attract women, but Nemo interrupts before he loses control. The captain says he doesn't want a monster loose on his ship, and Jekyll reminds him of his own dark past as a pirate. Returning to his room, Jekyll discovers one of his elixir bottles is missing. He informs Allan and accuses Skinner of stealing it since no one has seen him for a while. When they arrive in Venice, a carnival is happening, and the team deduces from the blueprints that the Phantom plans to blow up the city. As they begin searching for explosives, the bombs go off, causing buildings to collapse in a domino effect. They must destroy a specific building to stop it, so Tom takes Nemo's automobile with Allan, Dorian, and Mina, but Jekyll stays behind, afraid of releasing Hyde. The Phantom's men soon surround them and open fire. Dorian suspects Skinner betrayed them and flees. Allan and Tom try to fight back, but they are outnumbered. Mina uses her powers to climb a wall and mercilessly feed on the attackers. As buildings continue to collapse and damage the ship, Allan spots the Phantom nearby and jumps out to pursue him. Tom is left driving alone, dodging falling debris until he finds the right building and shoots a flare. Nemo fires a rocket, destroying the building and stopping the domino effect. The car flips from the explosion, trapping Tom underneath. On the ship, Dorian reveals he's the spy and shoots Ishmael. Meanwhile, Allan follows the Phantom to a cemetery. They fight, and the Phantom stabs Allan. Allan strikes back, causing the Phantom's mask to fall, revealing he is actually M. Moriarty, Sherlock Holmes' enemy. The Phantom escapes despite Allan throwing a knife at him. The team returns to the ship and finds Ishmael dying, who uses his last breath to expose Dorian. The ship's exploration pod shows Dorian leaving to meet the Phantom. The League follows him and finds a recording left by Dorian, with the Phantom's voice explaining that Reed works for him and was sent to assemble the League so Dorian could collect samples of their abilities. Dorian stole Jekyll's elixir, Mina's blood with a broken glass, Skinner's skin when he scratched him, and took pictures of Nemo's technology. Allan was recruited because he could capture Hyde. With these samples, the Phantom plans to create super soldiers to sell during wartime. Jekyll notices his inner Hyde is in pain from a weird frequency in the recording, just as the Phantom announces the ship will explode when the recording ends. The ship shakes, water floods the engine room, and some crew members are dragged down. Nemo can't resurface the Nautilus and orders the engine room to be sealed with the men inside. Hyde convinces Jekyll they can help, so Jekyll transforms and uses his strength to pull levers and open valves, draining the ship and allowing it to resurface. While organizing, they receive a Morse code message from Skinner, who sneaked into the pod with Dorian and sends directions to follow. They reach northern Mongolia and find the Phantom's secret fortress. Hiding in a cave, they wait for Skinner, who reports the fortress is huge, with kidnapped scientists working 24/7 to create super soldiers and copy Nemo's inventions. While the team plans, Dorian asks the Phantom for his painting, revealing it was stolen to make him cooperate. Now that he has it back, Dorian refuses to fight again. The League arrives at the fortress and takes down the guards with their powers. They sneak inside, and Skinner plants explosives around the factory, while Hyde, Nemo, and his crew free the scientists' families. Unfortunately, they are discovered by an army of guards. A gunfight ensues, but Nemo's weapons are ineffective against the guards' full-body armor. Hyde uses a huge metal door to deflect bullets, allowing Nemo to fight the guards with his sword and release the scientists. Meanwhile, Mina finds Dorian in his room, and they fight with blades, regenerating their wounds. Mina is distracted by the magical painting, and Dorian nails her to the bed with his sword, but misses her heart. Mina surprises him, impales him on the wall with his own sword, and forces him to look at his painting. This breaks the spell, causing Dorian to age rapidly and die. Allan and Tom search for the Phantom, who is overseeing the box with the leaked samples. They corner him, but a guard attacks them from behind, allowing the Phantom to escape with the box. They chase him and encounter an invisible man who attacks them, revealing he is not Skinner. While Allan continues chasing the Phantom, Tom fights the new invisible man but wastes too many bullets. An armored soldier arrives with a flamethrower, setting everything on fire. The real Skinner distracts the soldier, getting burned in the process. Tom uses a torch to ignite the soldier's gas tank, causing it to explode and kill him. Tom checks on the burnt Skinner, but is caught by the other invisible man. Allan finds the Phantom in a dark room, and they fight until the Phantom falls. Allan grabs an axe, ready to end it. Meanwhile, Nemo helps the scientists escape while Hyde protects them. A guard steals and drinks too much elixir, transforming into a powerful monster that Hyde and Nemo struggle to fight. Hyde reverts to Jekyll, forcing them to run. Skinner's explosives go off, causing the building to crumble. The monster is killed by falling debris, and the Phantom uses the distraction to dodge Allan's attack. Allan tries to stop him again, but the Phantom reveals his invisible man has caught Tom. As Allan turns to save Tom, the Phantom stabs him in the back before escaping. With Allan's glasses broken, Tom takes his rifle and, using Allan's teachings, manages to kill the Phantom from a distance. The box with the samples is lost in the water. Allan, before dying, tells Tom that the new century belongs to the new generation. Later, the League buries Allan with his family in Africa, and Tom leaves the rifle on the grave. The group decides to stay together and start a new adventure. After they leave, the witch doctor from Allan's story arrives and performs a ritual, causing the grave to shake. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice, just to be sure. It would be best if you watched the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this.